All right, Jack of all trades here. First of all, I want to state that this is a three-part episode. It's the Iron Man trilogy. The third one just came out, and they're already talking about how good it was. I'm not gonna go too in depth on this one because this is part one. So since this is a trilogy, and it might be 4 parts because I'll probably do a synopsis afterwards, like how I felt as the trilogy by itself. That being said, this episode's mostly, I might comment on other parts and whatnot, but it's gonna be about Iron Man 1, the very first one, and on that note, how does it begin? It starts off, it's right away there's an explosion, he's caught, he's unmasked, and they're like, this is Tony Stark. We have Tony Stark. If you want him alive, pay us $2 billion and give us all of your weaponry. And he's like, Tony Stark. And then it's 12 hours earlier, and goes back, and he's being his usual D-bag self. That's just, yeah, and that's how it starts off. I hope I'm not spoiling this movie for anyone. If you've never seen the Iron Man trilogy, clearly, if you haven't seen the third one, I'm gonna let you know there will be spoilers in that episode. So I'll remind you when I first start. I'll probably do the spoiler alert. But yeah. So that being said, this movie is probably the first superhero movie that makes you go, whoa, it's a superhero movie, because Tobey Maguire. I think that just says it all. And then you had the Daredevil with Ben Affleck, which I thought he did a good job as, but there's only so much you can do with actual Daredevil. So that was pretty good. Then there's the Punisher series. That was wicked good. But I think this is the one that really started that we have to get it right, whereas they took the whole thing, for those of you that don't know, it's based off of one certain group of comic series. For this one, it's it starts off, he's captured, he's blown up, and then he has to escape, just like in the movie, which is, really cool and whatnot. And I think they did it really well. They showed it very well, and they showed even his compassion, where he wanted the guy to go with him, but he saw that self-sacrifice. He saw, I'm going to quote Captain America here, he saw, kind of the other guy lying down on the line and letting him crawl over him type of thing. I think that's why that line really hits him in Avengers later on. But yeah, no, he does really, it really does well, and I think they picked the perfect actor for him. Robert Downey Jr., not only does he look like the stereotypical Iron Man, but he kind of has that attitude, he has that type of voice, he has that look to him where you're like, this is really Tony Stark. I get to see my comic book hero come to life. Of course, it's not my comic book hero, because, I prefer Ricochet or Spider-Man. I like, anything other than Tony Stark. But I did enjoy this movie. Even after having watched it, I can still, even now, I can watch it 10, 15 times in a row and not be bored. And it did. It led into, you have Iron Man, then it goes Iron Man 2, came out right after Thor 1 or right before, if I recall. I don't recall correctly. Then it goes Captain America 1. Then the Avengers came out, and like that was a huge thing, like, and this set up for all those objects. And like there were some things that bothered me about it, like for those of you that don't read comics or even play video games, because they do mention it in a few video games, and even the cartoons mention it too. The original Tony Stark, the first Tony Stark, was not allowed in the Avengers. Instead, he was told by Nick Fury. Nick Fury came to him with a proposal. He says, "Here's the deal. You are not certified to be an Avenger." Tony's like, "Why'd you come here? Just get out." And he goes, No. Iron Man's, he's not self-centered. You are. He goes, "This because he's a superhero and he's my alter ego." He goes, "Yeah, and kids love Iron Man. They don't like you. Adults love Iron Man, and only women will make love with you. But that's my point. Is you're not allowed in the Avengers. Iron Man is." They kind of ruined that with the ending where he's like, press conference, "The truth is, I am Iron Man." Okay, so we're not gonna go with the continuity route. No. We're gonna create our own world of hysterics where everyone can be Iron Man, which I'll get into detail about that on the third movie one. But it's like, yeah, sure, and it's pretty good, he kills his villain, like, this guy raised you when your father wouldn't. This guy was there for you. He taught you everything. He homeschooled you. He like, this guy was almost like your real father to you. Don't touch Pepper. Like, that's basic. That's pretty much all he does. Is he's like, he kills him for, he doesn't end cap him, which, he doesn't like stop the guy. He kills him, and that kind of bothered me because, Tony Stark, don't get me wrong, would kill somebody under that pressure. But then it leads to number 2, which I will express in depth why I hate that movie. That being said, I'm running on 8 minutes, and I really don't have much more to say. All I have to say is I love Iron Man, the movie. It was really good. That's pretty much it that I can say on the subject. Is I liked it, and it did keep with that continuity for the most part. Like I said, there were a few nitpicky things, but that was it, and it was a lot of fun. The original writer and producer and director for this movie he was dead on, and I gotta say, he's very good at what he does. That being said, thanks for watching. JackTrade out.